58% of Filipino families, or around 16 million households, still consider themselves poor. Madam Speaker, Madam Sponsor. So what happened?
Stella Kimbo, nanigas sa mga katanungan ni Camarines Sur 3rd Congressional District Representative Gabriel Bordado. 2025 national budget lalong tumaas. Utang ng gobyerno nadagdagan na naman. Pero bago ang lahat, maaari kayong mag-subscribe para maging updated sa mga issue at bagong mga balita. Halos sumingi na nga ng calculator itong si Stella Kimbo dahil sa mga katanungan ni Camarines Sur 3rd Congressional District Gabriel Bordado. Ito'y tungkol sa kung bakit umano mas mataas ang hinihinging national budget sa taong 2025. Mas lalo ring tataas ang utang ng bansa dahil sa naturang hinihinging budget na ayon pa kay Bordado, lubhang naghihirap na nga umano ang bansa na makuha ang target na kita dahil sa di rin ganun kalakas ang ekonomiya. Narito ang buong detalye.
From the 3rd District of Camarines Sur to interpolate the sponsor of the budget.
The Honorable Gabriel Bordado is recognized for his interpellation.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. And thank you to our Madam Sponsor for clearly outlining the principles and provisions adopted in drafting the 2025 national budget. Sorry. Madam Speaker, the proposed 2025 national budget stands at 6.3 trillion pesos, representing 21% of the country's gross domestic product. This marks a significant 10% increase from the 2024 national budget of 5.768 trillion pesos, reflecting the government's commitment to accelerate economic growth and addressing pressing national priorities. The budget is geared toward supporting the administration's goals of economic and social transformation by prioritizing key sectors such as education, healthcare, social services, public infrastructure, agriculture, and other vital areas. Madam Speaker and Madam Sponsor, while the goals of the 2025 proposed national budget are clear and focused on driving economic and social growth, significant challenges remain in effectively implementing them. As the national budget steadily increases, the country's revenue growth has struggled to keep pace, resulting in a widening fiscal deficit. This growing gap between expenditure and revenue raises concerns about the sustainability of government spending and the ability to fund essential programs without resorting to excessive borrowings. Despite progress, Madam Speaker, as the country slowly inches toward recovery, 2 years after the pandemic, the lingering impact on the economy is still evident in the lives of millions of Filipino families. Many continue to struggle with financial insecurity, poverty, and rising costs of living, even as the national budget continues to expand each year. Madam Speaker, Madam Sponsor, this disconnect between the budget growth and improved living conditions underscores the need for more targeted resource allocations and efficient program execution to ensure that economic recovery leads to tangible benefits for all Filipinos. Vigilant and thorough scrutiny of the proposed national budget is essential to promote fiscal responsibility and maximize the impact of public spending. Madam Speaker, Madam Sponsor, it is important that we remain vigilant and thorough in scrutinizing the proposed national budget for 2025. Madam Speaker, Madam Sponsor, for the 2025 fiscal program, we anticipate a total revenue of 4.6 trillion pesos, representing 16.2% of the country's gross domestic product. Is this correct, Madam Sponsor?
That is correct, Madam Speaker, Your Honor.
Thank you, Madam Sponsor. Thank you, Madam Speaker. With a proposed national budget of 6.3 trillion pesos for 2025, how does the government plan to bridge the resulting deficit?
Madam Speaker, para sa taong 2025, ang inaasahang deficit na amounting to 1.537 trillion ay ma-finance through gross borrowings amounting to 2.545 trillion.
Madam Speaker, Madam Sponsor, in other words, dito sa 6.3 trillion pesos budget, magkano ang manggagaling sa pangungutang?
So, Madam Speaker, as I had mentioned, for a total spending of 6.352 trillion and with a projected revenues of 4.644 trillion, the deficit amounting to 1.537, ang estimated po natin na gross borrowings would be 2.545 trillion. So if we deduct from that amortization and net financing, ang amount po niyan is exactly equal to the estimated deficit, Madam Speaker.
So magkano?
Ang gross borrowings, as I had mentioned, is 2.545. 545 trillion.
545 trillion. Ito ang gross borrowings na kasama rito sa national budget?
Yes, for 2025.
Madam Speaker, Madam Sponsor, what is the total national debt as of now?
Sa ngayon po, ang total is about 16 trillion.
16 trillion pesos?
15.69 trillion to be exact. Madam
Okay,
Speaker.
so we now have, Madam Speaker, a total debt of 15.6 trillion pesos. Just a year ago, this was, I think, 14 trillion pesos. Correct me if I'm wrong, Madam Sponsor.
That is correct, Madam Speaker, Your Honor.
So, Madam Speaker, Madam Sponsor, what specific measures or strategies will the government implement to address the shortfalls?
Madam Speaker, Your Honor, ang pinaka-importante pagdating sa utang ay ang tinatawag na debt to GDP ratio. Ibig sabihin, hindi yung absolute amount ng utang, kung hindi yung relative amount ng utang. Ibig sabihin, kung gaano kalaki ang utang kumpara sa kabuuang kita ng ekonomiya. So today, our debt to GDP ratio is 60.9%. At sa ngayon, tayo naman po, itong debt to GDP ratio ay manageable po. At as of now, tayo naman po ay on track to our target of 56.3 na
Madam
debt
Speaker.
to GDP ratio by 2028. So ang ibig sabihin, Madam Speaker, ang ating pag-manage ng utang is really sa pagpapalaki ng kita. So in other words, kailangan, pag umuutang tayo, kailangan maging productive ang paggamit ng utang. So kinakailangan, pinapalaki natin ang ating kita para mabayaran natin ang ating utang. So in other words, debt to GDP, yung GDP nasa denominator, hindi po ba? So habang pinapalaki natin ang ating GDP, pinapalaki natin ang denominator, ay napapababa natin ang debt to GDP over time. Madam Speaker, Your Honor.
Madam Speaker, Madam Sponsor, what is the debt to GDP ratio? I wasn't able to,
Madam Speaker, currently it is 60.9.
not 56.3%?
56.3 is our target for 2028, Madam Speaker. And as we are progressing, we are on track, Madam Speaker, Your Honor.
So the debt to GDP ratio is actually 60%.
As of the moment, Madam Speaker.
60%. And the target, Madam Speaker, is 56.3%, which is still above the pre-pandemic levels. Madam Speaker, Madam Sponsor, is this correct?
Tama po yun. Pero, Madam Speaker, Your Honor, siyempre, sa buong mundo, nagsilakihan, lumobo talaga ang utang ng buong mundo dahil sa pandemya. Kinailangan talaga ng lahat ng bansa sa buong mundo na umutang just to be able to cope with the needs of something that is very extraordinary, ito pong COVID pandemic.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Speaker, Madam Sponsor. The country's target revenue as a percentage of GDP has remained relatively stagnant based on the records, prompting concerns about the efficacy of existing revenue-generating strategies. Madam Speaker, Madam Sponsor, what specific reforms or initiatives does the government plan to implement or improve this revenue collection process?
Sa ngayon po, of course, ang pinaka-importante sa lahat ay ang pag-i-improve ng tax administration. So yan ang pinaka-importante. Meron tayong pinasa na ease of paying taxes noong January 5, 2024. At ito naman po ay nag-modernize ng ating tax administration at nag-improve ng ating collection efficiency. So, ang ginawa po nito ay na-simplify po ang ilang mga tax processes at nakapag-provide po ng mga facilities nang sa ganon ay napagpadali ang pagbayad po ng buwis ng ating mga kababayan, particularly through electronic channels. At kasama din dito yung ating digital VAT. Actually, ang digital VAT, Madam Speaker, Your Honor, hindi naman po ito bagong buwis. Dahil ito ay lumang VAT, kaya lang hindi natin nakolekta. So, nung pinasa natin itong bagong batas, it really was just a way to collect itong VAT sa mga digital platforms.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Madam Sponsor. According to the Philippine Statistics Authority, the unemployment rate reached its lowest at 3.1% as of June 2024. Is this correct, Madam Speaker, Madam Sponsor?
That is correct, Madam Speaker, Your Honor.
So, the unemployment rate as of now is 3.1%, a rather low
That is
figure.
correct, Madam Speaker, Your Honor.
And the underemployment also declined to 12.1% from 12.3% in 2023. Is this correct, Madam Speaker, Madam Sponsor?
That is correct, Madam Speaker, Your Honor.
So these are very good indicators. However, Madam Speaker, Madam Sponsor, despite these improvements, 58% of Filipino families, or around 16 million households, still consider themselves poor. Madam Speaker, Madam Sponsor, so what happened?
Madam Speaker, Your Honor, ang maganda sigurong tingnan ay ang pagbaba ng poverty incidence. So, maaaring tama po ang ating kagalang-galang na Congressman Tong Bordado na marami pa rin sa ating mga kababayan na mahirap pa rin. Pero kahit paano naman po, dahil sa pagganda ng ating employment figures, ay nagkaroon tayo ng improvement sa ating poverty incidence. So sa katunayan, ang ating poverty incidence ay bumaba from poverty incidence dropped from 18.1 in 2021 to 15.5 in 2023. So, yun siguro ang magandang tingnan, and that would be consistent with the gains that we're seeing in terms of employment, Madam Speaker, Your Honor.
So the poverty incidence drastically declined, Madam Speaker, Madam Sponsor, from 18.1% in 2021 to 15.5% in 2023.
That is correct.
Thank you, Madam Sponsor. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Majority Leader.